Hey there, fam. I didn't think I'd have to be here doing this, but it's been a really, really unique day, and I invite you guys to go deep with me for a moment, if you could. See, the issue with Christian fundamentalists is that they think they have the right to play God, and they do this instead of just allowing God to organize his creation independently. And the irony is that Satan behaved this exact same way. So in their quest for righteousness, they inadvertently end up becoming the devil that they all hate so much. I mean, if their God has an issue with abortion, then allow that person the opportunity to have that conversation with God and just stay the fuck out of it. And I'm willing to bet that he's much more understanding and compassionate than their religion will ever allow them to be. And maybe their issue is that they don't want you talking to God because they know he'd listen. And we all know that the last thing the church wants you to do is talk to the boss directly. Well, why is this? Well, because they know that God doesn't accept cash or credit. They know that his forgiveness and love costs absolutely nothing. So why risk losing your tax exemption status, right? See, this is not spirituality. This is an institution of men that have the audacity to speak on behalf of a God that's likely never spoken to them in their life. And that little voice inside their head that's cheering them on for overturning Roe v. Wade and compromising the health and well-being of women that he created, that is not God, my friends. That is what we on the streets like to call a self-righteous, patriarchal ego, bullshitting them into thinking the voice of God is speaking to them. And guess what? He's not. If you think that God cares more about your rights to own a gun than he does about the safety and well-being of children, then I'm sorry. I'm afraid that voice inside of your head is just a reverberation of your own unconscious hate for people that don't subscribe to your version of reality or religion. And the fact that they deliberately force God's will on others shows how very little trust they have in God to do it himself. And they lack this trust deep down, because they know that there's a possibility that their God may not even exist. And their doubt in God is why things like this happen. Because if they trusted that God knew exactly what he was doing, then they would know better. They would know better than to behave as if they were him. You know, I had been to church when I was younger, and it was understood that there were things that we shared with God that we just would never share with others. And it was clear that the relationship that we had with God was an intimate relationship that only we had with God. And the pastors and everyone in the congregation understood and agreed that the only force that had the ability to know our heart inside and out was God. So why is our government interfering with that process? What a woman decides to do with her body is between her and God. And we have absolutely no right placing ourselves in between that process. People that think owning a gun is more of a right than a woman's right to choose what she does with her own body have absolutely no place making these types of decisions, period. People that want to follow a religion that is ostensibly taught by celibate men who've never had wives or ever shared any interaction with women as a part of their faith have no business deciding what a woman should be doing with her body, period. The only thing that these people should be doing is thinking about why their God gave them free will and why their God gave them the ability to choose what path that they wanted to take in life. And think about how they would feel if someone came along and stole that ability to choose away from them. If somebody stole your free will, which is, deathly ironic considering how much pride we take in this concept of freedom in the United States. And this is what we're doing. We're deliberately trying to take away a right that God gave us while simultaneously claiming to be God at the same time. People, this is insanity. And this is the definition of unconscious thinking. And we need to wake up.